Hello, Beat Zillow. Is everybody there? Let me know if you cannot hear us because I am managing multiple technologies here at once, and that could potentially be dangerous. Hi, Karin.
Hi, Josh. How are you?
Great.
Good.
Most of our relationship has been chat and Facebook groups, so it's nice to see you here.
I know you're actually a real person. Who knew?
I guess give us 1 minute. I want to try to get some feedback from the group.
I know. I just logged in. Okay, I can see us.
Managing multiple.
And I can hear it as well.
Okay.
So, cool.
Let me cut off my volume on that. All right. Volume off on both. Okay, awesome. Well, so again, if everybody out there has any trouble hearing us, please let us know. I have about $40 into camera and microphone equipment, so hopefully it gets us through this.
Woo! Big spender. Actually, I think that's more than mine. My microphone, I think, was like $30 on Amazon.
Oh, that's nice. I did. Mine's a little bit nicer than that, but I did go ahead and buy another camera, so I'm not like looking directly into it because that just made me nervous when I was going back and watching videos of myself. So take a minute to introduce yourself, Karin. Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then I'm going to add to that.
Okay. My name is Karin Carr. I am a realtor in Savannah, Georgia. I've been licensed for about 14 years, and in that 14 years, we have moved to 4 different markets. So I started in Northern California, then I went to Hilton Head, South Carolina, then I went to Atlanta, then I went to Savannah. So pretty much I've had to start over again multiple times now.
Wow.
Which, if anybody has ever had to do that, totally sucks. It's kind of like you're a newly licensed agent all over again. And not only are you newly licensed, you just moved to town. So you have no sphere, nobody knows you. And when I moved to Atlanta several years ago, that's when I learned of EasyAgentPro. And I saw their blogs and I saw their videos. And it was basically how to get free business through blogging, through the content you're putting on your website. And I had a really cheap, crappy website at the time, but I was trying to do everything that they said to do with the website that I had. And finally, after like 9 months, I just said, oh, screw it. I'm going to get an EasyAgentPro website.
Nice.
And ever since then, like I give them 100% credit for anything that I know about SEO. I learned from them, and my business has completely exploded. So, and it's all been organically. Like I used to run a lot of Facebook ads and I would get a ton of leads, but I sucked at converting those leads because they were just very, very early on in the process. And then I would drop the ball and not follow up with them enough, or they'd say, oh, I clicked on that pretty house, but no, I have no plans to move. And so I kind of scrapped the whole Facebook ads idea and just concentrated on organic results from SEO. And that's when everything exploded.
Well, I recall part of this journey because I think you and I both learned a lot from the EasyAgentPro Facebook group. And I too credit them for a lot of the success that we've had in my brother's team. And we have 2 EasyAgentPro sites now. But I do recall you doing Facebook didn't you invent the single story ad?
I didn't really invent it. It's just that I thought, okay, if I ran a Facebook ad, what is hard to come by here? And what do people seem to really like? And it was single story houses, because where I lived, they were hard to come by. There were not a lot of them. So I ran an ad. Hey, are you looking for a single story house? And I was flooded with leads. But you know how many of those leads I converted? None.
How many? None.
Because I know my own weaknesses, and follow up is not one of my strengths. And it was me all by myself. I didn't have a good CRM at the time. I didn't have a team. It was all Like if you're relying 100% on me to follow up, I'm going to drop the ball most of the time because that's just not something I'm really good at starting projects, not so good at finishing through with projects.
Well, I also want to add to that, your introduction there too, that you, like I follow you personally, I follow you professionally, and you are, I don't mean this in the wrong way. You're just a normal agent. You're not some ex-Google or Apple employee, right? I mean,
Right.
I see pictures of you and your family, your mom, your wife, you travel, and I just want to let people know that, grit and hustle can get you where you're at, right? Because that's your story, right? I mean, you tried, and I'm sure it wasn't successful right away, right?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm kind of emphatically anti-hustle. I do not think that you need to grind and hustle in order to be successful in business. I think you need to be consistent. So when I say consistency, I'm not talking about working 15-hour days. I'm not talking about getting up at 6 in the morning, hitting my computer and working until 11 o'clock at night. Like, I don't think that that's necessary, but consistency, yes. So when I decided to start blogging, I didn't do it once. I didn't do it 3 times. Like, I did it consistently. And then it's funny, the reason I even got into video in the first place was because I read something on the internet that said, if you have a YouTube video embedded in your blog post, it's 43 times more likely to show up on the first page of Google. And I already had blog posts that were ranking very, very well. So I thought, oh, well, if I put a YouTube video in the blog post, will it rank even higher? And will I get more of them ranking on the first page of Google? And so I made YouTube videos and put them on YouTube only because the way that our website works is to embed a video on the blog post. You copy the YouTube URL and you paste it in the blog post. It was literally just a place to hold the videos as a repository, a library of videos, in order to be able to use them on my website. And that was in Atlanta. There was no rhyme or reason. There was no consistency. There was no schedule. I was just doing it because I had read that that was going to be an effective strategy. Then we moved to Savannah. The first week that I was in Savannah, I got a call from somebody that said, I found your YouTube channel. I've been watching all of your videos. I feel like I know you already. We're selling our house in New York. We're moving to Georgia. Will you help us buy a house? And at that point, it was kind of like, they said they feel like they know me already. And if I had said, great, here's my buyer brokerage agreement, will you sign it right now? I'm going to send it to you through Dotloop. They would have signed it immediately because they were that committed to working with me specifically. It wasn't, I found this house online and you're the listing agent. It wasn't, I'm calling about the house and you are the door opener. It was, I found you, I want to hire you, I want to work with you. So when that epiphany hit me, I said, I'm going to really double down on the video marketing content because YouTube is a search engine, just like Google. It's the second biggest search engine and it's owned by Google. So if you can have a really great ranking video, not only does it show up at the top of YouTube, but it shows up on Google as well, as you showed in one of the Facebook posts that you did.
Man, I mean, I've been a fan of yours already, but in kind of preparing for this, I was blown away. And I mean, I'm not, an average marketer necessarily. I feel like, I've gotten tens of thousands of leads and I was just dumbfounded by those search results. I mean, seriously, Dustin Brome and I did a live event like this too, talking about targeting, living in and moving to that phrase. And so I knew you had a moving to video. So I Googled that and living to, and I mean, it's like between those two, it's like 3,000 searches and you were showing up 3 videos and your website. I mean, I was blown away, Karin. Seriously, I knew that what you were doing was already amazing, but I was thoroughly impressed, and it made me, realize that I need to get better. Like this is, I'm a Google partner. I understand YouTube primarily from a paid perspective, but not as much through organic. And I mean, it was impressive, Karin. And I do want to say this too. I helped Karin with a project about 18 months ago, and I'm very familiar with the EasyAgentPro backend. So as soon as I got on her backend, I pulled up a couple leads, and she is right on. I mean, people were like, I've built, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of pages trying to get people's contact info and convert, to leads. And people were just going to your contact page and filling out a form and saying just what you said. I mean, and look at those YouTube comments. My wife and I are moving to the area. We love your videos. And I've never seen leads like that. I've never, ever seen that. And people talk about warm, cold, hot leads. I mean, when someone feels like you're being yourself on video, someone feels like they know you, you already have a genuine connection. You haven't even shaken hands yet. And it's amazing, Karin. It really is.
It's truly mind blowing. I mean, people ask me, so do you still run ads? And I rarely do, except when I get a new listing and it's like coming soon or, just listed or something like that. And mostly it's to advertise the property, not so much to advertise myself. But I just feel like I don't have to, because the leads that I get are so good. I'd rather get 5 killer leads a week that I didn't have to chase. They already know who I am. They already like me. They already trust me. They've already decided to work with me. Those 5 leads are worth gold, where I don't really have to spend a ton of money on advertising now. It's amazing.
Right. And you said, I think in our private messages, you said 18 deals in 2018. What's 2019 looking like?
Yeah. So now I have a team. So in 2018, I sat down, I think I did 27 transactions in 2018. And that was my first full year in Savannah. So I was very happy with those numbers. I know it doesn't sound like, oh, that's it. That's all you did. I had just moved to Savannah. So I was very happy with that number. And of the 27, 19 of them, I was able to say directly came from YouTube. So now this year, I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be, because now I have a team. I have 2 buyers agents. So all of the leads come in that are for buyers go to the team. And then I'm only working with the sellers. So now we've got 3 of us, and I'm really excited to see what those final numbers will be by the end of the year. But I'm going to say probably 40 to 50, maybe.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. I want to back up a little bit. You said your first week in Savannah, you got a lead from YouTube. Were you already doing content before you moved, or what?
Yes. So those were videos that I had made when I lived in Atlanta. And unfortunately, that lead, he was moving to Atlanta.
Okay. Oh, shoot.
So I was like, dude, you have the worst timing ever. I moved 5 hours away last week. And he and his wife were really heartbroken that they weren't going to get to work with me. And that's kind of what started this whole thing. Was they're already so committed to working with a total stranger. I've never spoken to them before. I've never exchanged emails with them. This is literally the first conversation I've ever had with these people. And they are so sad that I can't help them because I don't live in that town anymore. So what if I actually did this with a schedule? What if I did this with a strategy? What if I did this with any sort of consistency other than, oh, I don't have any appointments today. Maybe I should make a video because I got nothing else to do. What should I talk about? I don't know. Like, what if I actually put some thought into it and tried to make this my business strategy? And I got my first lead after 3 months of doing that.
3 months. Okay.
It was a come list me. They said, okay, we want to sell our house. We're moving to Florida. Will you come over on Saturday and tell me what I need to do to get this house on the market? Signed a listing agreement. The next lead, another seller lead. We've been transferred to Virginia. I got to sell my house yesterday. Will you come over and sign the listing agreement? Like, they did not interview anybody else. They had already chosen me. Like, insanely mind blowing, right? When you start getting those kinds of leads that were free, because I'm $0 in, I have no ad spend. And other than the $20 microphone that plugs into my phone, like, that's the extent of my, like, now I have a ring light, but I didn't start with the ring light. And now I have, a few microphones, but at the time I didn't. I was, I don't know, $40 worth of equipment, if that, and $0 in ad spend. And that was the quality of the leads that were coming in, of like, we want to hire you, bring the paperwork.
Yeah. Did everyone hear that, seller leads?
Yeah.
Because we've been in the same group, and I think it's, 3 or 4 times a week, people are asking, how can I get seller leads? How can I get seller leads? Do you recall what that video was? I have so many questions to ask you, but like one thing you say leads to a question that I have, and I can't let that one slip by. Do you recall what got you a seller lead, that first one?
The very first one, I don't remember what video had originally attracted him. The second guy was in the military, and I had made a video about if you were in the military and you are PCSing, which is permanent change of station, you are PCSing to Hunter Army Airfield. And that one got him because my husband is former Air Force, so we're a military family, and I kind of speak the language. So when I was dropping things like PCSing, he says, okay, she is like us. She understands what's happening. This is somebody that can help us. So back to your comment about getting seller leads, it's really all about the content that you are putting out there. So if you want seller leads, don't make a video about moving to Savannah, because that gets me a boatload of buyer leads. The content that you put out and who you are trying to attract will determine the type of leads that you get. So if you want seller leads, you're going to make videos about how much does it cost to sell my house? Do I have to have professional photography? Do I have to hire a stager? Does my house have to be on Zillow? Should I do that 360 home tour that's on Zillow? I make videos for sale by owners, so that I'm basically showing them it's not as easy as they think it will be. And when they finally throw in the towel, hopefully they call me and hire me. So you're making videos to attract the type of clients that you want to get. Do not be a generalist. Do not make videos for anyone and everyone in your entire market. I think that's the fastest way to never get a phone call, is if you try to be all things to all people.
Do you back up a little bit? Because I know that I suspect that there are 2 categories of people watching this right now who are looking, to build a brand on YouTube. And I would say, one are people who probably already have a few videos up, but they're not necessarily doing anything for them. But the other group, which I am in, we are using every excuse in the book not to get started. We don't have the equipment. We're nervous on camera. Do you recall some of those moments early on, and kind of like, if so, like, what did you do to kind of combat that? And any funny stories that you want to tell? Awesome.
Well, I majored in music in college. I originally wanted to be a professional singer. So I do have a lot of experience being on a stage, and I don't really get nervous that way. I was nervous making the videos because I was new to my market, and I thought, I don't know the area very well.
Great point.
And, you kind of feel like an imposter. You feel like a fraud. And I can imagine that people that are newly licensed, they've been in the business for maybe less than a year, probably feel that too, of I don't have enough real estate experience to even talk about this stuff. So I'm nervous. And I just kind of approached it from the point of, stop making it all about me. Stop making it about, what are they going to think of me? Are they going to judge me? Are they going to think that I'm too old, or I'm too fat, or I've got too many laugh lines, or I'm too whatever? It's not about me. It's about, how can I help them? How can I answer their questions? How can I serve them? How can I decrease their stress in a very stressful life situation? What can I do to make things easier for them? And when you take the focus off of me and you make it all about you, like, all of those worries go away. And then, yes, the first several times that you make videos, you're like, oh my God, like every flaw on my face is magnified. All of these little laugh lines, and like my front teeth overlap, and you can be very critical of yourself. But the more that you do it, the easier it gets. And after a while of seeing yourself on camera and hearing your voice back, because I get that a lot too. If I hate the way my voice sounds, guess what? Everyone in the whole world hears your voice the same way, except for you. Right. So get over it. There's nothing you can do about it unless you're going to go to a speech therapist and try to change your entire speaking pattern, which is stupid. Just record the videos, and as you hear yourself over and over again, you get used to the sound of it, and then it doesn't bother you anymore. But I think the best tip is to really just stop thinking about how you are going to be perceived and how you are going to be judged, and instead make it of, what can I do to help you? Because my videos are not listing tours. I'm not advertising my listings. I'm answering their questions, and I'm trying to ease the problem that they're having with the biggest financial transaction they're probably ever going to make. So if you're trying to be helpful, then you spend a lot less time obsessing over stupid stuff like, are my gray roots showing?
Hopefully inner Josh is listening, and hopefully everybody else is taking some tips from that, because that's good advice. And I personally, I've been doing more content for Easy Agent Pro, and I noticed that I say way too much, and I don't know, like I just didn't know it until I started watching videos. So if anyone wants to help me with that, you can put in the comments to remind me. If you hear me say that, go for it. But I agree with you. I feel a little more comfortable. I am more conscious of the ums and the so's and the weird transitions. Still, have the laugh lines, need to lose a little weight. We're going to keep working on all that. But I like that advice, Karin. Can you tell us, like, I have two newbie questions, and then I do want to get into some pretty advanced stuff, but I personally feel like a microphone is probably the first thing you should buy. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think that the audience is very forgiving of our video quality. They don't expect us to be Hollywood actors, and they certainly don't expect us to put together an Oscar-winning video. Like, literally, if they are Googling moving to Savannah, they're trying to find out, okay, my husband or my wife just got offered a job in Savannah. We've never been here before. We don't know anything about it. How much does it cost? What are the schools like? Like, are they a bunch of backwoods hicks? Are they a bunch of rednecks? Are we going to like this? How far are we from the ocean? You're trying to answer their questions. So they're not expecting some really slick produced video with tons of graphics and transitions. But if they can't hear you clearly, they're not going to watch. So you can just get the earbuds that plug into the microphone jack on your phone. Mm-hmm. You could get Bluetooth earbuds that don't have the wire. You could get, what I had was the little lapel mic that clicks right here. It was literally $12.99 on Amazon. It plugs into the headphones jack. And if you have the latest iPhone that doesn't have the headphones jack, then you just have to get that little dongle that plugs into whatever that's called, the lightning port or something, to be able to use it. And then as you start getting leads that turn into clients, that turn into commission checks, you can upgrade your equipment. Now I have a wireless microphone like they wear on TV with a little battery pack that hangs on the back. But I got it for Christmas. I put it on my wish list, and my husband gave it to me for Christmas. I didn't even buy that myself. And it was probably $150. I'm not talking $500. It was very reasonably priced. But now I use that so that they can always hear me clearly. And it still clips on right here, and it has a little teeny tiny windscreen, the dead cat thing. So if you're outside, you don't hear when you're trying to talk. Like, they got to be able to hear you clearly, or they're just going to hit the back button and go watch something else.
Right. I like the idea of that. The wireless mic. I do feel like if I got one of those, my wife would be dancing around doing karaoke with it constantly in the house. So, okay. Well, tell me, we're still kind of newbie phase. What are some of the first videos you think everybody should do?
If you live in a metropolitan area where you do get a lot of people moving to your area, and I got to give a shout out to Dustin Brown, because I thought he did the original, but turns out he copied too. So I met Dustin at Inman Connect for the first time in real life last week. And I said, your moving to Salt Lake blog inspired my moving to Savannah blog, which then inspired my moving to Savannah video, which in turn has given me, 30 clients. So thank you. And he's like, well, I didn't invent it. Ryan Fitzgerald in Raleigh told me about it, and then somebody else told him about it. So we're trying to figure out who was the original person so we can really say thank you. But I have told countless of, I'm now coaching this whole method to people, and I've got agents in Toronto and Las Vegas and Phoenix and Los Angeles and major metropolitan areas that are moving to, and then answer the question. Those get a ton of traffic. There's an agent right now in Portland, Oregon, and he and his business partner said they have 40 deals in the pipeline that are all coming from his moving to Portland videos. So those are huge. If you live in a smaller area, either a small town or it's just not nearly as well known. Go back to what I said about what type of client are you trying to attract? You need to specialize in something. Do you want to be the horse property person? Do you want to be the person that's selling the urban lofts downtown? Do you want to be the person that's helping millennials buy their first time home? Do you want to be the person selling beach houses? Like, what will your focus be? And now that you know what your niche is and who you are talking to, it's easier for you to figure out what they want to know. And then you're going to go do keyword research exactly the same way you would if you were writing a blog post, only it's going to be a video instead. And then you can also do a blog post. And that's part of the thing that's making me show up on the first page of Google is I make a blog post and I make a YouTube video and I put the YouTube video in the blog post. And Google loves that. You're getting like all the Google love because you've got the blog post and the video. And that's why your stuff starts showing up on the first page of Google so easily.
And how did you see a correlation between the YouTube video starting to rank and the page, or did one kind of feel like they work before, or they obviously work hand in hand because they're both
Right.
Google properties, but did you notice any of that? Because I was actually surprised that your site was #1 also. I mean, I shouldn't be, but I just wondered, do you think that trailed a little bit behind, but or not?
No, I think the blog post ranked first. So the moving to Savannah blog post was the very first thing that I did when I moved from Atlanta to Savannah. So I banged that out like as soon as I was here in town. And it was on page 8 of Google at the very beginning. And then it went to page 6, and then it went to page 5, and then it went to page 3. And when I made it to page 1, I was so excited. And then eventually it worked its way up to like the top 3 spots. And that's where it's stayed ever since. But the blog was there first and the video came later. And then I put the video on the blog post. And then every time I've made another video, I'll transcribe the video to make a blog post, make the blog, put the video in it. And I think just because I had that original blog post that was ranking so well at the beginning, everything else seems to rank easier and faster now.
Definitely. Google trusts your content, so right. They're keeping a close eye on you. So you transcribe it first and then you put the transcription up?
Yeah. So I would write a big long blog post and I would make a video. And I thought, well, this is stupid. I'm creating so much extra work for myself. What if I just transcribe the video? So after you make a video, you can send it to a company called rev.com and they charge you $1 a minute to transcribe everything that you said in the video into text. Then you just go to your website and you say new blog post, copy, paste. Ta-da! Right. So it's like my videos are usually around 5 minutes long. So it's $5 for them to transcribe the whole thing. And they usually can turn it around in an hour or 2. And then I just copy and paste and I add a bunch of hyperlinks and I put the video in it. And I might add a featured, photo as the head at the top of the thing. But I can bang out the blog post in like less than an hour now because I'm not writing it from scratch.
And you feel like they're pretty accurate with their transcription. Yeah.
Rev.com, actual human beings are transcribing it for you. If you do Temi, which is TEMI.com, it's being done by a computer. So that one's always wrong. There's always tons of misspellings and no punctuation. They spell my name wrong every freaking single time. But if you go to rev.com, it's a human being that's transcribing it. Somebody must type 100 words a minute and it's very, very accurate. Okay.
So you obviously do a lot of lifestyle videos. Those are interesting. Do you have like a certain kind of percentage in your mind about, I'm going to do kind of lifestyle new mover stuff versus I'm going to talk about, actual real estate topics?
No, mine is more of who is my niche. So when I first got here and I saw how well that the video had been working before, I decided my niche was going to be military because we are a military family and we have 2 big military bases in the area. In Atlanta, I didn't really have that. There was a military base, but there was nobody being transferred in and out. There really wasn't a lot going on there. So instead, I figured now that I'm back in a military town, that will be my focus. So my videos were, have you gotten orders to come to Hunter? this is what you need to know. If you want to live within a half-hour commute of the Army post, you should consider these areas. Here are 5 great subdivisions. Here are 7 great suburbs in Savannah. If you want to live by the beach, you should live here. If you want to live by the base, you should live here. And so it was more like they're all about living here and buying a house here, but they were focused on military. After all of those videos really started to take off, I got a ton of people that are just relocating here in general. They're senior citizens, they're retired, they're tired of shoveling snow, they want to move down south, they want to live somewhere affordable but still be in a nice climate. So I started getting just anybody that wanted to. I get a lot of people moving here from Indiana. I don't know what's up with Indiana. There's like a mass exodus going on. They all want to move to Savannah. And so just general people that are moving here from out of the area. And so that's kind of what our niche has become, is we are relocation specialists for people that are coming to our area from somewhere else. But again, if you wanted to, let's say your niche is like you love dogs and you like working with single women that are buying their first house before. Like all of the topics that you do could be appealing to a single woman that also owns a dog. So you could be talking about how to fix things around your house when you're not necessarily super handy. Little tips and tricks of just things that you might know from your personal experience. You could interview your lender of how hard is it to qualify for a mortgage on a single income. So you're not discriminating, you're not alienating any protected classes of people, but it's okay for you to pick a niche and say, this is who I want to attract by the type of content that I'm putting out there. And you attract your ideal client to you like a magnet because your marketing message is so laser focused. So you just have to decide, who is it that I really want to work with? Who do I want to attract? And what sort of questions does that person have? And then make videos to satisfy that person. Right. I would say that at least 90% of my videos are real estate related, not necessarily how to buy a house or how to sell a house, but it could be my 5 favorite suburbs in the Metro Savannah area, which, is real estate related in my opinion. And then every now and then I throw in something like the best place to get shrimp and grits, or my favorite low country boil. It's more hyper local content, but not necessarily about buying or selling a house. So
real estate, but kind of lifestyle around real estate. And then do you actually do, stuff like how to negotiate, tips on negotiation or things on the actual transactions? I mean, have any of those produced like a good amount of seller or buyer leads?
Yeah. I did one video. What was it called? It was, why do I need a home inspection? Because I get a lot of questions of, well, if I just spent $450 on an appraisal, why do I need to get a home inspection?
Right.
First-time buyers don't really understand the difference between the appraisal and the home inspection. So I thought, well, I should do a video on that because I get that question all the time. So at the end of my video, I said, so now you know why you need a home inspection, but do you know what the home inspector is actually looking for? No problem. Click this link, download my free home inspection checklist. And when I looked at it the other day, I think I'd had like 38 downloads. And the only place I ever mentioned that home inspection checklist was in my YouTube videos. So I know that the reason they downloaded it was because they watched the video. And that's a great way to be able to tell where your leads are coming from. If you offer them a freebie, some sort of lead magnet, and you could just make it in Canva or even in Word. It doesn't have to be any big fabulous document. You can write it in Word and then copy and paste it into Canva and make it look really pretty, save it as a PDF. You upload it to your website, you put it on a landing page. So at the end of your video, when you say, hey, go here, click here, get this thing, anybody that downloaded it, they got it because they saw your video.
And that's actually another question I want to ask you. Do you have a call to action on all your videos? Or if not, like what makes you determine that you should add it?
Yes, I have a call to action on every single video. And it is not, if you know anyone looking to buy or sell a house, call me. And then I have my phone number across the page. That is a sucky call to action. Please don't do that. People don't go on YouTube so they can watch commercials. Okay. We have to make it what's in it for them. So in this example, it was, do you know what the home inspector is looking for? I have a free download called the Home Inspection Checklist. Go get it. Nowhere in that call to action did I say, call me because I'm freaking awesome, right? I didn't give them my phone number. I didn't give them my email address. I didn't do any of that stuff. I'm saying, here's something for free that I can give to you that will help you. Now, of course, when they go fill out the form, I'm getting their contact information. So I'm getting something in return, but it doesn't come across that way on camera. It doesn't come across as me being a salesperson, which everybody hates. Everybody loves to buy, but nobody wants to be sold, and especially not on YouTube.
Right.
They were going there because they were trying to learn something. They don't want you to be promoting yourself and telling them why you're so great. So on every video, it's either watch another video or go get my free thing. Okay. I usually say watch another video. And that's because A, it makes the YouTube algorithm happy if people stay on their platform longer. B, it gives me more face time with them. The more of my videos they watch, the more they feel like they know, like, and trust me. But mostly it's to make the algorithm happy, because if you're constantly driving traffic away from YouTube, you're not going to show up as high in the search results. Whereas if you can draw people to the platform and keep them there for a long time, YouTube says, hey, I like this person. Right. She keeps them on the platform a long time. Let's have her videos show up higher in the search results.
Yeah, I read somewhere, and I think, and that's great insight, understanding what YouTube wants you to do, understanding that Google wants to provide the most relative answer to the question, and keeping that in mind along with your audience. But I read somewhere that the Netflix CEO said that their greatest competitor is, I believe he said, YouTube and sleep.
Oh, I'm like, sleep, is that an app? Oh, you mean actual sleep.
Yes, actual sleep. So are you tagging the video with that call to action? Are you speaking the call to action? Are you linking it in the description? Are you sending them to a landing page? Okay.
All of the above, yes.
Okay.
So now YouTube has changed the rules since I had my YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Now you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers to be able to say, click this link, and have it pop up on the screen, and it's a clickable link.
4,000 hours.
4,000 hours, okay. Which takes a long time. So luckily I was grandfathered in. I was able to do that. Otherwise you just say, click this link down below, and in the description below the video, you put the link. But you say it in the video, you physically point to where it's going to be located on your YouTube page, because give them, make it as easy for them as possible to click the link and give you their information. And I would say 9 times out of 10, they give me accurate, valid information because they wanted what I was offering, and now they know, like, and trust me. So they don't feel like they're going to get spammed by a telemarketer, right? Normally they put in fake information because they don't want to talk to you. For me, by the time they fill out that form, they want to talk to me. And it's really, really awesome, because when I call them and I say, hey, this is Karin in Savannah. I saw that you downloaded that home inspection checklist. Are you thinking about buying a house? They go, oh my God, you're famous. I can't believe you just called me. Like, Bill, I'm on the phone with Karin. Oh my God. And they get all wiggy. The first time that happened to me, I literally could not stop laughing. And it was like, you are cracking me up that you actually think I'm famous. But then it happened again, and it happened again, and it happened again, and now it happens weekly. And it's kind of like, yeah, baby, I'm famous. It's really funny to me that that's their perception, all because I have this little tiny YouTube channel. It's not like I'm Ryan Serhant on $1 Million Listing.
Right. Well, I can tell you, I have 3 kids, and they're the biggest stars in their eyes are YouTube people.
Totally.
I mean, times are changing for sure.
I know.
Do you have, so what is your call to action for moving to and living in those videos? Is it next video or?
Let's see. When I made the moving to video, I was brand new here. And so I didn't really have other videos to get them to watch. So I think it was, if I remember correctly, I think it was either go to my website and get my free relocation guide, or it was driving them to an IDX page where they could just see everything that was for sale and like how much stuff costs here. Right. But I have since made a relocation guide, and this is my favorite thing. Like, I'm so proud of this. I feel like it was so damn sneaky and ingenious. I went to the Chamber of Commerce and I downloaded their relocation guide, and it's pages long, and 70 of them are advertisements for my competition. So of the 10 pages that was actual information, I was like, it's very generic and it kind of sucks. It doesn't really say anything. I could make something myself 100 times better, right?
Right.
So I went to Canva. I love Canva. I picked one of their templates. I used their templates and I changed all the colors to my brand and I put my logo on it. And then I just said, okay, what kind of a lifestyle do you envision? Do you want to live by the beach? Do you like living in the downtown area where you can walk everywhere? Do you want to live in the suburbs where you can have a great big yard? Do you need to be by excellent rated schools? And I have all those different things on one of the pages. And then when they click the link, it goes to my YouTube video where I talk about that stuff. So even when they're clicking the links in my free download, they're going back to my YouTube channel to watch more of my videos. Like, I am just getting those people so into my world that by the time they're ready to hire somebody, they don't even dream of considering anybody else. Like, they're all in with me. And it's awesome. I have people sign exclusive buyer broker agreements over the internet before they meet me every day, like 6 months in advance. They say, we're moving here from South Korea in July of next year. And when I send them something saying, okay, if you want me to go to the houses and take videos for you before you move here, sign this buyer brokerage agreement. They're like, okay.
Is everyone hearing that? Everybody has trouble getting those signed and not sure when to ask. And, Karen's getting them before she actually meets people, which.
Yep. I mean, I don't say, oh, I just took your phone call, you need to sign a buyer brokerage agreement. But if they say, I saw the video that you did where you go out and take 360 videos of the houses, we're moving here from South Korea, would you be able to do that for us? Of course, I would be happy to do that for you. The only thing I ask is that you hire me exclusively, because if I'm going to be driving around town, spending my time and my gas money to take videos for you, you're going to use me when the time comes. And nobody says no, because you're offering a value that other people are not asking for, and it doesn't cost them any money. Right. You just have to be brave enough to ask. And when you know your own value, you're not being brave. You're just telling them, if you want to work with me, this is what you got to do.
Yeah. All the while just being genuine and being yourself, not trying to pretend like, yeah. And I mean, I really think that's key. Your videos have, little transitions, you have little graphics, like, so you are spending a little bit of money on them sometimes. Like how much are you spending on your average video?
Okay, so when I first started making the videos, I was doing all of my own editing, and I have a Mac and it comes with iMovie for free. So if you're a Mac user, use iMovie. However, I spent far too long doing that myself, and I would encourage anybody to outsource that as quickly as you possibly can. So after I started getting closings where I was like, hey, I just got a $7,000 commission check, a $10,000 commission check. I think I could pay $15 to somebody on Fiverr to edit this video for me. I found one person that would do every single one of my videos. So I went on Fiverr. Can't remember what it's called. There's like the little 3 lines in the upper right-hand corner. I can picture it in my head. You click on it, it says something like post a request or something along those lines. And I said, I make a video every week. I will give you my intro. I will give you my outro. I will give you my logo. I will tell you my colors. Every video is the same general format. I'm going to email it to you, or I'm going to place my order on Fiverr and give you the file. I want you to do the editing. Here are a couple examples. Go look at my YouTube channel and see what I'm doing now. Make it look like that. How much would you charge me? And then you get all these people that say, well, I'll do it for $20. I'll do it for $50. I'll do it for $175. And so I crossed off everybody that was super expensive. I looked at the people that were reasonably priced. I went and looked at examples of their work, and then I picked one. And I used that woman exclusively for like the next 6 months. So she would charge me, it was literally $10. I think Fiverr started charging like $1 fee on top of it. And she did every one of my videos for me, so that they all had the same look and feel. And I got hours of my time back. But at the very beginning, when I was doing it myself, it didn't cost me any money. It was free because I already had the editing program. But I'd say I spent maybe 3 hours a week doing editing of the video, maybe a little bit longer when I was trying to learn new things and do fancier stuff.
So 3 hours to $11. That's a pretty easy decision.
Absolutely. And now I have a virtual assistant in the Philippines. She works for me 40 hours a week, full time. All she does is all of my social media and all of my editing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm embarrassed to even say, I think she charges like $3 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So like I give her everything. She does all of it. I get so many hours back that I figured out she can work for me for an entire year for about what I would get from one sale as a commission.
Right.
So wrap your heads around that. Like, do you want to pay somebody $3 an hour? Whereas if you're paying yourself, it's more like $30 to $50 an hour, depending on how much money you want to make this year. But if you wanted to make $100,000 this year, that's $50 an hour. Do you really want to pay yourself $50 an hour if you could pay somebody $3 an hour and guarantee they're going to do a better job than you?
Right.
Because they know how to edit videos and we really don't. We're all self-taught. Just outsource it as soon as you possibly can, because you need to be spending your time doing the stuff that brings in the money. And that's filming the video, because you're on camera. You're the talent on camera, and then meeting with the clients face to face.
And that's really good advice. I know a lot of people work with virtual assistants. I have one who's in the Philippines also, and they're incredible. You know, she works really hard. It's certainly helped me be more efficient as well. Did you recall how you found that person?
Yes, actually, it's a website called onlinejobs.ph.
Okay.
And it's kind of like Match.com. I've never been on Tinder, but I don't know what Tinder is like. I'm going to stick with Match.com because that was back in the day when I was single. And everybody has their little profile and they've got their picture and they say, this is what I do, and this is what I've been trained to do, and this is what I'm good at, and this is when I'm available, either part-time or full-time, and this is what I charge. And so you go through and look at everybody's profile. Then you create an account when you're ready to contact those people. So you don't have to pay for anything until you want to start contacting them. And then I think it's like $69 a month. So hopefully you only have to do it for 1 month. And when you find the person you want to hire, you cancel your membership. So that's what I did. I paid for 1 month at $69, and I interviewed all the different people. And then we did Zoom meetings just like this, so I could be talking to them face to face. I picked the one that I liked the best. And at first I felt really bad, like $3 an hour am I a slumlord? Is this person making a living wage? But she's fresh out of college, and to her, that's a great living. Like the dollar goes so far in the Philippines. To them, that's a really good wage. To us, it's like, that's just a smoking hot deal, right? And she works for me full time. So I don't have to wait until she's done with other projects. She just does whatever I give her to do. And she, like you said, they're very hardworking. They're very conscientious. It's been amazing. It's been the best thing I ever did. And to spend like $100 a week to get 40 hours of your time back, it was just such a great use of my money.
That's great advice. First of all, we have a kind of a hard deadline at 3 o'clock, but I have about an hour more worth of questions more. So if anybody has any questions, I do want to say Karin is one of the most responsive people I work with. So you can comment here. She also has her own Facebook group. Correct, Karin?
Yes.
And she is extremely accessible, extremely helpful. So go ahead and drop a comment in if you have one, but I have about 30 more, so I'm gonna take up a little bit of time. I want to ask you how you leverage Facebook with these videos. It's YouTube, they're on a different format. Are you sharing a YouTube link to Facebook? Are you uploading the raw video to Facebook? How do you work that?
Well, I want to say that I'm not relying on Facebook to bring me the people watching my videos. I'm really relying on the organic SEO. And so it's the title of my video, it's the metadata of the video. I am relying on people finding it organically, searching on YouTube and Google. Having said that, of course, I want to share it on all of my social media platforms, especially the day that it goes out, to say, hey, I got a new video, you should go and watch it. If you just copy the link of the YouTube video, Facebook doesn't want to promote it because you're driving people away from Facebook. Right. But if you upload the entire video, now they're not going to go watch it on YouTube. So like, what's the happy medium? I ended up making like a little teaser video, maybe a 30 to 45-second snippet from the full length video. I upload that natively to Facebook and then say, if you want to see the whole thing, click here. Once they get over to my channel, then they're much more likely to subscribe and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my workaround for trying to get people from Facebook over to YouTube.
So you create a little preview. Is that kind of part of your video editing process?
Yeah.
And then you say, click the link. You actually put the hyperlink?
Yes.
Okay. And that works. I mean, you're able to see that people are.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it works better if you put the link in the comments rather than in the post itself. So you upload your teaser video natively to Facebook, and then in the comments you say, click here to see the entire thing on YouTube. But again, I'm mostly just doing that to let people know, A, that I have a YouTube channel, B, that the new video dropped today. I'm not sharing it on Facebook so that I'll get 100% of my views coming from Facebook. That's just like an additional thing that I do.
Okay. And so I want to talk just a little bit about SEO. Are you using TubeBuddy or something like that to help you, or are you just putting enriched descriptions down about it? And you have to be doing a little research upstream as well.
Totally. I love TubeBuddy, but not for keyword research.
Okay.
I feel like TubeBuddy, and for those of you that don't know what it is, it's a free plugin. They have paid programs as well, but you can start with the free one to plug into your YouTube channel. But for them, anything that gets less than 1 million searches a month is a small keyword, and it's not really worth going after. And that doesn't apply to us, because 100 searches for moving to Savannah, that's a killer keyword right there, because that's 100 people that are showing they're ready to make a buying decision, right? Yep. They have high motivation. They were not looking for the greatest place to get a coffee, a lemon bar and coffee. They're looking for, I want to buy a house. Shows a lot of intent. So I do keyword research. My favorite tool is Keywords Everywhere.
Yep, I use that one too.
And it's free. You show that in the screenshot that you took. When you go to Google and you type in moving to Savannah in the search bar, underneath the search bar, it says this many searches are being done each month for that exact phrase. Yep. This is how competitive it is for you to rank for it. So I like Keywords Everywhere. Right.
It also, if there's anybody out there doing paid ads, which I do, it gives you like a little bit of estimate of what the cost per click would be if you did through Google. Right. So are you writing an original description, and about how long? If so, like about how long? Are you just copying other content? Like in the YouTube, not talking about the EasyAgentPro site, but in the YouTube.
In the description below the video itself. So I have a boilerplate that's like, follow me on Facebook, and here's my Instagram, and you should go to my website and get all this free stuff, and here's my brokerage information. And if you have a referral, send it to me here. Like that, I copy and paste on every single video. But then I also write usually a paragraph or two, nothing excessive. If the video was, why do I need a home inspection? I might start out with, are you wondering why you need a home inspection? Well, in this week's video, I'm going to tell you exactly why you should and what they're looking for. Go here to get my free home inspection checklist. So I'm putting a keyword in there. The title of the video has the keyword in it. I'm putting it in the description below as well. And then I'm also putting the link where I want them to go if I want them to take action.
Okay. And again, I want to make sure everybody here, she's always has some sort of action that she's asking for. And so I know that you have a ton of resources for agents. I know that you've been a speaker at Inman. BombBomb named you a video influencer. And I mean, who knows video influencers better than BombBomb?
Right.
Tell people like how they can connect with you. And I'm telling you guys, like this lady, you'll feel like best friends with her because she is helpful. You have a paid, like for people who are a little more aggressive and like ready and need guidance, you have a paid class, I guess. Is that right? Where you mentor as well?
Yeah, so I had so many agents calling me on a weekly basis saying, is this working for you? Are you getting business from this? How are you doing it? Well, can I ask you about keyword research? that eventually I thought, if I made an online course, would anybody take it? And now 475 people later, yes, they are taking it.
Wow.
It's crazy. And it's been exactly 1 year. I launched it July 12th of last year. So if anybody wants help where it's an online course where I go through, this is how you record. This is what you say. This is how you decide what you're going to talk about. This is how you make your call to action. This is how you do the editing. This is how you find somebody to do the editing for you. You know, it's start to finish, basically everything I did from A to Z to be getting this kind of leads. Because I'm probably getting 10 to 20 leads a week that are all coming from either they Googled it and they found the blog post first, or they Googled it and they found a YouTube video first. But once they get into my sphere, like they're mine. You know, they don't go anywhere else, which is freaking amazing. So I'm trying to teach other agents how to do this as well. I have a free 5-day challenge that I'm doing starting on Monday.
Ooh.
If anybody wants to sign up for that, we're going to go live in Facebook every day at 3 p.m. Eastern. There will be a replay. So if you can't attend live, you can watch it later that night. But we're going to overhaul your YouTube channel so that we can start setting you up for success to be able to do this. Because the people that have YouTube channels and they're not getting business from it, they're all doing the same things wrong. So I'm going to tell you what to fix so that you'll start getting business from your YouTube channel. And that starts on Monday. If you want to sign up for that, just go to youtubeforagents.com/challenge. And then all of the information about my courses there as well, youtubeforagents.com. And if you want to join my free Facebook group where we just geek out on video and everybody shares their videos and says, look at the one I just made, what do you think? And we all give feedback and stuff. The Facebook group is called YouTube for Real Estate Agents.
Okay. And I do see a couple comments. One very familiar, Ashley Journey. Who I personally
she's one of my
know.
star students.
Ashley works for brokerage and that I support. And I remember her signing up for your class. And I remember she got her first deal from her videos, and we were just all dancing and excited. Fast forward a little bit, she's now she got voted best newcomer in our area.
That is so
and
exciting.
I just found out yesterday that she got a very big award that we're not allowed to say yet, but it was voted on by the public. So proof that Karin works. Like I personally know Ashley. She's in the comments saying how much she likes the class. I also know, other people, Corey and many other people who take your course, and they all are producing beautiful videos. I mean, they look like yours. So it seems like you're taking them, you're just holding their hand, taking them through the process, mentoring them like you have with so many other people. So I from my outsider looking in, I know that this is working for people, and I know you're changing lives, and that has to feel great.
Thank you. I know Ashley I think she wrote it in our Facebook group. She said that she got a $900,000 buyer lead that said they found her from her videos. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I think that was when she was still in her first year in real estate.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. Somebody in their first year in real estate gets $1 million buyer.
Yeah. And I mean, she's still, I don't know, Ashley, how new you are, but she's still fairly new. So she's already has awards and deals.
And she's not in a major metropolitan area either. She's in Charlottesville, Virginia. So yes. I don't know how big that area is, but I would imagine it's not, millions and millions of people.
Yeah. Now it's a couple 100,000 county and city. I live there also. I live a little bit west, but a couple 100,000 people and 1,000 agents. So it is pretty competitive out here. So again, just to summarize, Karin has a group you can join. You have a checklist on your site.
Yeah, I have like that's my little freebie thing. If you go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Karin Carr, I've got training videos on here of how you can do this for yourself. And there's a little checklist that you can download that's like the things that every video has to have in order for you to start getting business from it.
Okay, so you have your Savannah related channel, and you also have I'm going to help other agents related
Correct.
channel. Okay.
Yes. So my Savannah related channel is youtube.com/Karin Carr Real Estate. If you want to see the type of videos that I'm talking about, because they're nothing fancy, guys. I'm not having somebody follow me around with a camera and, you know, turn it into like this big produced Gary Vee style vlog. Mm-hmm. It's literally me sitting in my office with my phone on the tripod. That's it. Like, they're not fancy. So don't think that I have a ton of technical skill to be able to make these videos, because I really don't. They're nothing fancy. So that's the Karin Carr Real Estate channel. Just the Karin Carr channel is me teaching other agents how to do this.
Okay. And I don't like, I created another page so I could share this to two groups. So I'm seeing comments, but they're not on some of the Beat Zillow channels or the other ones. But Ashley did jump in and, you know, highly recommend Karin. Yes, she's meeting with this just enormous buyer on Monday, and she, you know, attributes you and her broker to the success that she has. She gave me a little bit of shout out, but I think that was just being polite. So guys, we didn't set this up. These are real agents popping in, talking about how awesome Karin is, about real deals, real meetings they're getting. So connect with Karin, check out her videos, go to her Savannah channel too, because I target moving to and living in because I know those phrases are great. And I encourage my clients to pay for that traffic. Like, and if we get 50 or 100 people paid from those searches a month, like, we're happy with that. I mean, we usually got a few active people. So Karin has 15,000 views on this video. And how many eyeballs, how many people are watching this that aren't prospects for moving to her area? I mean, almost everyone. I mean,
if you Google moving to Savannah, you're moving to Savannah, right, or at least thinking about it. Now, I know a ton of other agents are watching that video as well, but I'm totally okay with that, because the more views it gets,
right,
the more authority it gets in the eyes of YouTube, and the more it ranks at #1. So when you search moving to Savannah on YouTube, it's always #1. Occasionally it's #2. Like, it's always at the top of the list. And it's not a great video. It was one of the first ones I made. It's really not well done,
right,
but they don't care. And because that one did so well, then I made one called Living in Savannah, What I Love and What I Hate. People like that one even more, because by then I'd been making videos for a year and I didn't totally suck on camera anymore. And I wasn't all like hot and sweaty in the thing, because that first video, it was July in Savannah. Damn, it's hot. And I think I looked all sweaty and I didn't even have makeup on. I was a hot mess in that video, and I still get a ton of traffic from it and a ton of leads. So that just goes to show you that people are not there because of what you look like. They're there because of the information that you're sharing. And if you're being helpful and you're not coming across as a salesperson, they're going to love you.
Right. And you're very clever with your keywords too, like the living in. What I've learned from targeting this phrase for a long time is living in and moving in, or moving to. Google sees a correlation between those two things. So you have your videos that show up on that phrase or moving to Savannah, living in Savannah, things you like and don't like. And then you have another clever keyword dropped video, cost of living in Savannah, which also has that living in Savannah phrase. And they all show up. And guess what? If you're moving to Savannah,
they think I'm the only agent in town, and I am perfectly happy to let them think that.
It's phenomenal, Karin. I mean, I can't say enough about you and how much you've helped. And I've learned a ton from you. I know other people have, and we sincerely appreciate it. So we're going to repurpose this video. We're going to add it to our YouTube channel. But look, it'll still be on the Beat Zillow feed. Anybody has any questions, feel free to drop Karin a line or just reach out and find her Facebook group. But again, Karin, thank you for taking your time. I know you're busy, so we really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for asking me. And do that 5-day challenge next week if anybody's interested in really taking this to the next level, because I'm telling you, it works.
That's a really good idea. So you got a boot camp coach helping push you a little bit. Yeah. And critiquing you. I mean, if you feel like people need to do something different, you tell them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw one this morning and I'm like, dude, your thumbnail is killing me. You got to fix that thumbnail.
Awesome. Yeah, everybody's got the thumbnail out there. Awesome, Karin. Thanks so much. And I'll see you. I'll see you out there in Facebook world.
All right.
One
Thank
day,
you so much.
I'm going to come down there to Savannah and see you.
Yes, I hope you do.
See you, Karen.
Thanks, Jeff.